Connolly.
Thank you very much, Minister. And I welcome that there's a new rural policy that will focus on the islands. But my question is, and I'm a stickler for sticking to the question, my question is, what is the current policy of the Department in relation to the islands? And thanks to a question put by Deputy Cleary, it was elicited that you were all asked to come back with your current policy, and the inaugural meeting of the Interdepartmental Committee in relation to the policy of the islands took place on the 24th of September. And each department, and you might confirm that your department was at that meeting, you were asked to come back with your current policy. Now, the reason I'm being so specific is I'm fully familiar. I have the consultation paper here on show in Gaugzi Merla. I have all the previous reports as well. The difficulty is the island community face a lot more challenges, and you know that, Minister, even in the rural areas, and they're certainly challenged, and I agree that we certainly need a vibrant rural community. But my question is, what are the current policies of your department in relation to the islands and the challenges currently facing them?
Thank you very much, Deputy Minister.
Yeah, and first of all, I say that just to answer the question, our present policies are guided by the Department of Culture, Heritage and Gaeltacht, who have responsibility for the islands, and we work closely with them across, as we said, the cross-government interdepartmental committee for the island development is chaired by the Department of Culture, Heritage and Gaeltacht, and that has been established. And our department actively participates in this group to identify areas of mutual interest and potential collaboration. And I want to say that just moving, we talked about the response to the digital age or whatever. If you look at the story that has been created in Ardmore and Donegal in relation to how they have got a hub set up there, and I met one of their residents out in Brussels where he was out there with the last Tuesday, and again it was a model that has been shown across Europe what can be done. And I would also say, going back to the broadband connection points, our department have also allocated broadband connection points to islands in recognition for the fact that there is an isolation there, and just to reassure the Deputy that the islands are high on the agenda for government and led by Minister Kine in his department, and we will continue to work across all government departments to make sure that they are kept in the agenda.
Deputy Connolly.
Christmas time, Minister, and I note your positive comments, but the way to heaven is paved with good intentions and reassurances. We need a lot more than that. We need a policy. We're going to get that next year. That's welcome. I welcome that policy. But as part of that consultation process, each department has to say what their current policies are. And there certainly seems to be a major gap in your reply. No fault of yours at this moment. But you're not outlining what your current policies are, your department, for the islands, so that it is clear what the policies are, what the challenges are, because that's what you're going to have to do in due course over the next few weeks in relation to it. Mentioning broadband and mentioning various things, we've heard it so often. They're all good, but they have to be embedded in a policy and a visions for the islands that recognises the challenges, that the population is declining. Actually, they've showed us the way forward. The islanders have shown us the sustainable way of living in tune with the environment. What we want is a policy as quickly as possible with input from your department, which is particularly important. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Deputy, and I want to compliment you. You never break the time barriers. I really appreciate it. Minister, final comment.
Yeah, I would just like to say, again, to repeat that we are working closely with the Department of Heritage. We will have a new rural policy out in early 2020. And just to, again, maybe to remind the Deputy that you say, what is our present policy? I think what the present actions are, that the LEADER programme 2014 to 2020 supports programmes, island programmes, and they have funded 29 projects, accounting for 880,000 has been allocated. The social inclusion, the SICAP, provides direct support to 2 regions that focus directly on the islands. Corn and Illall receives 29,633. South West Mayo Development Company has received 45,000 of the SICAP to develop supports for Mayo Islands. The Rural Regeneration and Development Fund is also there. These are not policies, Deputy. These are actually opportunities for people to get funding streams to help develop their islands, and that they're being put forward by the Department for Community and Rural Development. And I think, you know, policies are great, but we have to make sure we implement them. And I would say the proof of the pudding has been in the eating, and you can see what has been delivered to the islands under the funding streams that were from our department in the last since the department was set up. And I think that record stands for itself.